goes without saying, doesn't it? I mean, that you understand everything what you understand from yourself. And that means exactly that. Whatever you understand or what you thought you have understand, it shows only what you understand from yourself. Well, it is of course very nice when you understand everything about this scientist or something like that. Good. But honestly, as long you don't understand yourself, it doesn't matter at all what you understand from science or from art or from philosophy or whatever. That is tricky to understand, and that is the whole problem at all. You see, when you know exactly that you can understand only that what goes with you and what is practically alike with yourself, then you know pretty well what you really have to understand, really. Yourself has to be very clear about yourself. And you can't ask for answers from somebody else. And here we are really by a very complicated thing like medicine. Well, the doctor may be able to understand, to tell you that you are ill. Yes, I tell you that what he understands, what you maybe are. But what you really are, it is your own decision. Not more, no less, no more. And that's because the judgment about yourself lays only in your own field. And in your field, you can push out everything that you don't like. Because everything which is in your energy field is able to enlighten your energy stream, of course, but it's also able to destroy it. And it's up to you not to allow that. It takes, of course, a lot of energy and a lot of decision and a very clear way of thinking to understand quite well what you like to be and what you like to get. And remember, please, that you only get that what presented yourself. What is presenting yourself? You have that and that and that. And that means it gives a kind of testify who you are. And when you have something which you don't like, what you don't like, give it free and push it away without hesitating. You are that what you understand from yourself. And that is now really a blow for somebody who is very, very eager when he wants to convince you that something is like that and like that. And always is always busy to explain you what so dangerous is about other people. When they start to blame other people, when they want to investigate what other people do, then they only say, they only understand what they themselves are. Oh, and here the point is, what about people who murder someone? What about people who destroy somebody? Please remember that you can only get destroyed by somebody who is very much like yourself. He is similar. And when you start to reproach somebody or to blame somebody, then you only give testimony, you only testify what he was able to do with you, because you have the same resonance. And here our real work lies. Here's the energy field, and what you really have work to do. To control your own thoughts and take care for a vibration which give you the fitting thoughts for. If you like to have it in that way, you can imagine that you are a kind of a thought catcher. You always get those kind of thoughts and those kind of possibilities which are fitting with your own personality. Nothing more, nothing less. And the way you fight against it is really a kind of solution. But never dream that you can fight somebody else. Not at all. You can only give somebody the possibility to be like that or that, in that way. When somebody is maybe not so, let's say somebody has not such a high vibration, he can't give you something else as a low, something what is very like a low vibration. And here is the key for yourself. It is very tricky and very, very difficult to get rid of everything which you don't like. The error is to think that you have to get rid of somebody else. You get rid of somebody else when you don't, when it doesn't fit anymore. Maybe for 20 years ago it was possible somebody to betray you. Maybe, but 20 years later, it is unnecessary that it is still like that. And here's your own work, nothing more. A lot of people try to make it complicated. The question is why? Well, maybe because they think it is like that. Maybe because they like to talk. They think maybe they can profile themselves on the coast of somebody else, possibly, but it doesn't work. You see, the guidance you have is a kind of mirror of yourself. In a heavenly order, it is a very, very clever way, actually. No one in a heavenly order is able to see himself. He is only able to see the other guy. And when this other guy is beautiful, fantastic, brilliant, he knows that's reflected himself. But it can be only reflected himself if he himself is a mirror, clear and without any disturbance, without any flowing. Nothing can flow and make the self picture from himself dizzy. It's very clear. And the more bright you are, the clearer the picture is what you make from yourself. And the other guys are the help here. Then because when the other guy is very beautiful and fantastic, woman or man, doesn't matter, then you see that is a kind of reflection of yourself. And this is our real work. Nothing else. You can do that in the way that you are a secretary, or maybe you are a street cleaner, or maybe you are a professor for something else. It is okay, but the point is rather, it's not the real thing is not what he do, but in the way he do that. What kind of person is he while that? Why he do that? Or why she do that? And so you see, you can make everything which is possible for you from yourself. It is the reflection who counts, or what counts. And so there is very little to say anymore. It is only that you have to get the knowledge in that whatever you meet, it presents yourself. Narcissus, from which you probably heard of, was so in love with his own reflection that he that he always looked into to the sea, and he was so delighted by his own picture. Oh. And he bent a bit too deep over the sea that he lost his balance, and with a big splash he fell into the sea, and what do you say that in English? He drowned. And the sea was very, very, I had a lot of grief about that. He suffered from that, Nazis. Never see him again. You never see Nazis again. What's wrong? All the time, when he bent, as Nazis, bent over me, I see my own beautiful reflection, sighed the sea. That's the point. You can see in somebody else the very best. And if he or she is the very best, depends on your own vibration. And here we have work to do. A lot. And so I think now it's over. When something goes without saying, it means that you understand it quite well. And that means that you understand yourself quite well. And as I say before, in a heavenly order, no one finds his place if he or she is not in a heavenly order with himself, with herself. Goes a bit on my nerve when I say always he or she, but what shall we do? We have this kind of misunderstanding with women and men, because women and men are practically the same. It depends how much reflect they from the other guy. Let's wait and see what we can make of it. That's really an interesting thing, because now we know exactly what task we have to undertake. It's us. And of course, our thoughts are reflecting ourselves. The higher our vibration is, the higher thoughts we catch. It's a bit like a radar. And as long as you are in a high vibration, you get, of course, the best ideas, the best thoughts, the best ways, the best solutions. And no one will blame anyone if you realize that whatever I say to somebody else and over somebody else, it hits me immediately. And when I get right off of something, when I really say I dislike that, I can't stand it, then don't do that. And do everything which is possible not to come into this near. Avoid everything what you can't stand. It's a bit this play like children, when children play. They say, do you see me still anymore? Well, it's interesting, this game. Huh? When I say, do you see me? You see, though you don't see me again. You don't see me anymore. You see a face covered by hands, nothing else. And that is what you will meet when you understand that what you really don't like, when you really dislike, and you refuse it, they can't see you anymore if your behavior is quite different, and your way of thinking is quite different. Then you don't belong to that anymore. Yeah, that is a knowledge. And now we have to set it in practice. That's the tricky thing on that. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye-bye.